Welcome, fellow students. Today I am going to give you an example of how to practice rhetoric or figures of speech, how to analyze when you are given a quotation, how to analyze the figures of speeches in that quotation. The video is without any voice, but I am just adding this voiceover so that if you don't understand my handwriting, you can get a hint from this voice. Let's watch the whole video and practice with me. Take your time, think and understand each and every point slowly and thoroughly, and you will get better at this analysis. And if you like this video, at the end of the video, please press the like button, the share button, and if you like it more, then press the subscribe button. So the lines that I have written here is a famous quotation from Tennyson. Milton, thou shouldst be living at this hour. England hath need of thee. She is a fen of stagnant waters, altered sword and pen. Fireside, the heroic wealth of hall and bower, have forfeited their ancient English dower of inward happiness. This is the quotation. Now let's take a moment and think about the words and the figures of speeches. I have underlined those areas where the rhetorics are hidden. If you have understood what kind of figures of speeches are used, it's all right. If you have found out all these parts, it's all right. If you haven't, then pause the video and think about what I have already underlined. what figure of speech it may be or can be. Think about that. Then watch the rest of the video. So, as you can see in the first line, the word Milton is an apostrophe because the poet Tennyson is calling Milton, who is a dead person, a dead poet, an absent person. He is being called out, he is being called by his name. So, this is an example of apostrophe clearly. Also, in line number 1, we have found out that there is this word hour, which represents time actually. Tennyson is talking about a particular period, a particular time, a long time, a particular age in England. The time is being talked about. So, here hour actually represents time. So, it is an example of synecdoche. Moving on to line number 2. Now, England hath need of thee. You could say that this is metonymy because by the word England, the poet is not meaning actually the nation England but the people of England. So, you could say that this is metonymy, but I would rather say that this is personification because England hath need of thee. England is like a subject here. Also, Tennyson uses the pronoun she in the next clause. So, England is being mentioned as she. So, clearly, this is an example of personification, that England is personified here. Also, in the same line number 2, you can find that she is a fan of stagnant waters. So, she is a fan of stagnant waters. This is an example of metaphor because she means England. England is a fan, so England is being implicitly compared with a fan. a fen of stagnant waters. Now, stagnant waters meaning that it has a particular absence of movement. The water doesn't move, so it is stagnant. And England is being implicitly compared to that stagnant water. That means that England has become stagnant. So this implicit comparison, uh, it this is an implicit comparison because there is no sign of comparison. There is no as, like, you know. So this is a metaphor. The point of comparison is the absence of movement, absence of progress, perhaps, in sense of England. Now, in line number 3, you can see that I have underlined altar, sword, pen, and in line number 4, I have underlined fireside. All these are examples of metonymy because they represent different things. Uh, like altar represents spirituality, spiritualism, the spiritual condition of the country. Sword represents the heroic conditions, I mean, heroism, how it is going in the country. Pen represents, similarly, intellectualism. Fireside represents peaceful, happy family life. So, by these four words, the poet is trying to express completely different but related nouns. Naturally, these are examples of metonymy. Also, in line number 4, there is hall and there is bower. These two words are also examples of metonymy because hall, the word hall, represents barons, lords assembled in a hall. This is about, those days of medieval glory, uh, knights and lords and all those things. So, barons assembled in a hall is being meant by the only word hall, and ladies assembled in a bower, that is another expression which is being meant by the single word bower. So, barons assembled in a hall, perhaps about a serious meeting. It is related to heroism or heroic uh, duties, something like that. And ladies assembled in a bower, that is the beauty, the family life, the virtue, etc. Maybe. So, this is represented by the word bower. So, hall and bower, both the words are examples of metonymy. Now, in the last two lines, at the end of the fifth line, there is dower of inward happiness. The word dower and the phrase inward happiness are being implicitly compared to each other because there is no sign of comparison, of course. But the comparison is there because dower means dowry in a marriage and inward happiness. The poet is trying to express what inward happiness is like, how it is like. So, inward happiness is the happiness that that you don't show off, that you don't show outside, that doesn't appear on your face, that you hide inside your heart. You are happy, but you are not expressing it. That is inward happiness. So, inward happiness is being compared to a dowry in a marriage. Suppose a person gets a dowry in a marriage. Although he is happy, he doesn't want to express it explicitly that yes, I am happy. No. He suppresses it inside his heart. He doesn't appear to be happy because of the dowry. So there is happiness, but the happiness is inward happiness. So the phrase inward happiness is being compared with the word dower, that is, dowry in a marriage. So this is implicit comparison because there is no sign of comparison. This is an example of metaphor. Pause the video and write it down if you please, and if you like the video, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.